Alrighty you guys, so I was not expecting this. Now obviously I've done my video on HITSUGAYA because of course there was a little bit of a leak of the man, the myth, the legend, and you're probably wondering how the hell did you manage to do this, Shiny? Well, the developers just said, hey, yeah, we're going to gift you some SSRs, and HITSUGAYA is one of them. Not only are we going to gift you the SSR, we're going to give you his stamp. Not only are we going to be gifting you his stamp, we're going to be gifting you, I don't know what to call this, his poster? His image? I don't know. They basically gave us the whole set of HITSUGAYA for free. They didn't give us dupes, unfortunate, but yeah. And developers have also confirmed that we're also going to be getting for free Komamura, of course. Now, obviously, are they going to be this generous when the game officially releases? I don't know. But there is a lot to talk about because there's a lot happening. Some exciting news too. So let's get through, see what HITSUGAYA is capable of, see if he's actually worth the pull, because of course if he's at the ready, then you know day one he'll be ready to be released. Just to give you guys team recommendations, this is kind of what they're asking for. I don't have Rukia, apparently. Do I not have Rukia? Bro, I don't have Rukia. And she's the key component for my battlefield skill. Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, this is awkward. It's fine. We can make do. It's fine. It's fine. Anyway, so we're going to run through this HITSUGAYA, see what he's capable of. I'll quickly run through on what these skills are doing, of course. So when it comes to his stamp, let's, first and foremost, let's get this going. Let's see what we're looking at here. There we go. So when it comes to this HITSUGAYA, pretty much gives him a 30% critical hit rate increase, and on top of that, when he's in, I assume this is his Bankai state, right? I assume. So once he's in this state, his the damage received is reduced by 25%, and in this state, his normal attack, Ice Dragon Dance, will not be interrupted, and the damage will be increased by 40%. So that is an extremely good stamp to have, so that is pretty awesome if you ask me. And then in terms of his, again, I really don't know what to call this. This is the poster. So this is the attack power increase, defense increase, HP increase, critical hit rate increase, and critical hit damage. Yeah, there's still a lot of leveling to be done on this, so there's a lot more increase on the stats, of course. So there's that. But in terms of what we're looking at, I'll also do this so you guys can see what the additional debuff that he can apply. And it is, as you have seen, it's more to do with the whole freeze value. But pretty much, the maximum number of Ice Lotus is increased to 200. And each layer of Ice Lotus increases the critical hit damage of the special move by 0.3%. So Ice Lotus damage caused by a special move will be increased based on the number of layers. So the more layers you have, the more ultimate damage you'll be doing. That's pretty much long story short. The second part of it, normal attack damage to targets with freeze value increased by 15%, and the additional layer of Ice Lotus will be obtained when hitting. The additional Ice Lotus obtained by this effect can be triggered once every 0.2 seconds, and basically freeze value is you're freezing the enemy, and in order to freeze the enemy, you just have to accumulate 100 freeze value points basically, and then that will activate the enemy being frozen for 2 seconds, and that way you can maximize the additional damage output. So that's pretty much the poster, is what I'm going to call it. Okay, so let's kind of go through the dupes and whatnot. So again, when it comes to the whole dodging side of it, once again you'll get that speed increase, time stop and whatnot. So it seems that the dodging side of it, we haven't seen any form of uniqueness other than Ikaku as well as Yoruichi, in terms of how they can just kind of immediately go back towards the enemy and stay on the attack, of course. So there's that. In terms of the dodging side of it, or deflecting, my bad, in terms of the deflecting, there is some good counter-attacking damage to be dealt here. So 750 right there, very nice, 812% on the next level. And then with this, I can apply 15 points on the freeze value, and I will also be accumulating my spiritual pressure as a given, as you deflect. And then once you're in your Bankai state, of course, pretty much HITSUGAYA will leap forward, dealing 900% damage, 975 in the next level, of course, and then this once again will apply 15 points of the freeze value. So that's deflecting. So going now to his main attack. So pretty much the first one, and it's taking a minute to translate, but I know what it is. He's just basically doing 5 stages of attack, which results into 349% damage. Again, next level going to 376, and as per usual, you are building up your spiritual pressure. Once you build up your spiritual pressure, you're able to summon a ice dragon, which again 5 hits, causing 926% damage, going over to 997 damage, and with each hit, you can accumulate an Ice Lotus, which, as you know, with Ice Lotuses, the more layer of Ice Lotus you accumulate, the more damage output you can do on your ultimate, of course. So there's that. Also, it doesn't state this because it's not fully translated. If I just do that, so we get the second paragraph. If it wants to load, there we go. So when dodging or sealing, the number of stages of the attack will not reset. When the continuous attack is interrupted, then the attack itself in its state will be released in advance. So yeah, that's kind of annoying, but anyway, moving along to the Bankai state now. So when you're in the Bankai state, things do switch up. With this one, if it wants to translate, come on, anytime now, anytime. There we go. So when HITSUGAYA, pretty much in the Bankai state, he condenses the ice spikes and launches them towards the enemy at distance. Once again, 5 stage of damage, 490% going up to 528 of damage, of course. Each stage of attack adds 1 layer of ice spike to himself. When the attack hits, he will also gain Ice Lotus. So based on the number of hits, based on the number of hits, you can get Ice Lotus, of course. So in the Bankai state, you also have a secondary ultimate, so that will then accumulate to do more damage once again, of course. And on top of that, HITSUGAYA can perform normal hits while moving, whilst all of this is taking place. So yeah, pretty nice, pretty nice. So a lot to take in with this character, a lot to take in, I will say. Okay, going over to the main core passive now. So the damage caused by the special move is increased with the value of number of layers of Ice Lotus you have by 0.25%, and you can stack up to 120 layers. Alright, so there we go, nice little increase on that one. Okay, so moving along now to the enhanced passive now. So in the Bankai state, when HITSUGAYA releases normal attack, skills and sealing attacks, if he moves, he will gain additional 6 layers of Ice Lotus. So normal attack 2, skills 6, sealing attacks 6. That's the 2 6 6 6. There we go. If the displacement of distance is greater than or equal to 3 meters, he will gain an additional layer of Red Lotus that can be stacked up to 4 layers. Red Lotus. And so with the Red Lotus, if I just quickly translate that so you guys can get an understanding of what's going on there. Pretty much what the Red Lotus is that when the Bankai state ends, all the Red Lotus layers will be consumed, and each layer consumed will increase the ultimate energy. So that consistency is there. Very, very nice. Where am I going? Okay, let's move over now to the second enhanced passive. Okay, so Red Lotus enhanced passive. So with this one, when entering the Bankai state, if the number of layers is greater, if the number of layers of Ice Lotus is greater or equal to 30% of the maximum number of layers, the ultimate energy will be immediately filled when the ultimate move. So basically, yeah, most of the time it will be filled. You guys will see it because I've already used this. So yeah, it will be filled. The ultimate move is released within 20 seconds. The damage of this ultimate move will be increased by 52.5%, 60 at the next level. So that is extremely I love this. Like the layer stacking to then get rewarded like that. Oh my god. All right. So that's extremely solid. And then with the final enhanced passive, for every 1% critical hit rate HITSUGAYA has, the damage caused by the normal attacks increases by 1.12%, with an upper limit of 45%, and then going to 52.5. Obviously the 1.12, again, next level wise, it will go up to 1.31%. So those are the passive. Alright, so we're heading over to the skills now. So when it comes to HITSUGAYA's skills, he creates a large amount of broken ice and smashes it forward, dealing 175% damage, 189 going over to the next level. and then accumulating his own spiritual pressure, which is very nice. Enemies hit by this skill will be inflicted with 5 points of freeze value. After releasing this skill, an icicle air will be generated in front of him. After 2.5 seconds, the icicle will explode, dealing 117, going to 126% damage of the enemy's attack power, inflicting 5 points of freeze value and accumulating his own spiritual pressure. Alright, moving along now to the secondary part of the skill itself. Like I said, the skills has multiple stages. So HITSUGAYA leaps into the air, guiding the ice dragon to dive down and smash into the enemy, causing 396% damage, going up to 427%. And then applying 10 points of freeze value towards the enemy. HITSUGAYA will then enter the celestial phenomenon state, in which the normal attack will be replaced by Ice Dragon Dance, and that is when, yeah, the damage output is just insane. The area coverage is ridiculous. Yeah, you guys will see. So that's the additional play of it. And then finally, it's talking about the Bankai state, so there's more to it. So when HITSUGAYA is in the Bankai state, his ice wings dive towards the enemy, releasing a slash in the extreme cold, dealing 450% damage, going to 485%, applying 10 points of freeze value towards the enemy. During the release of the combat skill, HITSUGAYA will enter a invincible state and can click the seal button to release a seal attack. Keep in mind with what we saw with the seal attack, practically doing 1000% damage, right? So there's that correlation, which is very, very nice to maximize damage. And then when it comes to the ultimate, so this is where we can really pile on the damage and actually do some good damage from this. So when it comes to the ultimate state, so the first part of it is that you'll go into your Bankai state, of course, and you'll be pretty much flying around the air, and then all your moves will be replaced with stronger moves, basically. All right. So when you're in the Bankai state, HITSUGAYA guides an extremely cold airflow, which is causing 1,537% damage, can go up to 1,650 in the next level of my character. And on top of that, you'll consume all the Ice Lotus, so that way you're maximizing your damage, as you know. And on top of that, so all the Ice Lotus consumed will provide an additional 0.25% damage multiplier. And then, yeah, after the ultimate is popped off, you will then release your Bankai state, of course. And keep in mind, if you've got 4 red lotuses, that will then help out with the ultimate energy going next into your rotation, or continuing on the fight itself. So yeah, that is HITSUGAYA in a nutshell. Oh yeah, his dupes, I forgot about his dupes. Alright, so looking at the first tier, that will give you the biggest buff. So when entering Bankai state, immediately gain 30% of your maximum number of Ice Lotus, and then on top of that, you'll get a damage increase of 30%. That's actually a pretty solid initial tier. What the frick? Hold on a minute, why is HITSUGAYA kind of cooking right now? And then when it comes to the second buff, there we go. So after each combat skill and sealing attack is released, critical hit rate increases by 12%, lasts for 8 seconds, and this skill can be stacked up to 2 times. Ooh, I like that. And then looking at his last dupe, what are we looking at here? When the battle begins, spiritual pressure is immediately filled. Okay, critical hit damage of the special move is increased by the value equal to the current red lotus layer, which is what, 25? Star 25? Is that supposed to say 25% as a whole? Not 0.25? It has to be 25%. Okay. When consuming red lotus, the damage of the normal attack is increased by 25% for each layer consumed. Oh, for each layer is consumed. God, wait, that's 100%. Which lasts for 8 seconds. God damn, that is 100%. That is 100%. Because you can get 4 layers of red lotuses. Jesus. Alright, HITSUGAYA. My man is all about that freezing. He's all about that damage. Okay, there's a lot going on with this character. I actually vibe with this character so much. Well, you guys have seen some gameplay in the background. There was a bit of a dev note talk which Kaku kind of went over. So I kind of do want to briefly talk about that whilst you guys are seeing HITSUGAYA kind of whooping ass. So pretty much, as I've spoken about, so tomorrow, being March 20th, to anyone who is playing the beta of the Komamura will be given for free with the engraving as well as the stamp. Or basically, you'll get the whole characters, like kits and whatnot. So they're doing the same thing with what they did with HITSUGAYA with Komamura for everyone. So very nice. If they want to do that when the game officially releases, I'll be very happy about that. If you want to do that for global, I'll be very happy about that. So that's awesome. And obviously there's going to be some optimizations. They're going to be looking into the drop rates for the banners itself, so We'll see on how that's going to turn out in terms of the future, in terms of the future release, if they're going to be upping the rates and whatnot, making our life a lot easier. We'll have to wait and see, but that is something that they're definitely going to be looking into. There will be audio and voice adjustments, PC optimization, so I assume they're talking about emulators, unless there's going to be unless there's going to be like an actual PC port, then that's going to be huge if that is the case. Japanese voice acting and sound effects will be fully integrated in the official release. Fantastic. The art quality will be enhanced, which is expected because this is just a beta. We've still got another open beta to go through, so there's a lot of finalization that needs to be done, so that's kind of expected. What else we got going on? Since the test required sealed assets, the current version is not final as expected. Development team is continuously refining models and textures. The Kenpachi model issue has been resolved with an update version. Facial animations for characters have also been optimized. I believe there was some PvP talk here. So the devs will continue to perform optimizations and device compatibility improvements to ensure a smooth experience on the mainstream devices, which is mobile phones, of course. PvP mode discussion. So they are in discussion of the PvP mode. Bleach Soul Reasonance was originally designed for PvE-focused game. The dev team has considered player requests for PvP, but implementing a balanced, high-quality PvP system is challenging. A PvP demo has been tested internally, but the results were unsatisfactory. The team will continue to explore PvP possibilities, but cannot confirm its release yet. The fact that there was already testing, if they can figure out a way to bring it, then there's PvP happening. If you guys don't know, the game does have multiplayer, so you can hop into a raid with your friends to take out like Aizen or Urahara as bosses, of course. So there is some form of multiplayer already implemented into the game, of course. So that's also, so already that's a W. Already that's a W. There's a lot that they can do with co-op play, so that's awesome. PvP wise, I do 100% agree. This is something that they cannot rush. They have to perfect to a T, because as I've mentioned, as I've said before, you know, it's one of the big sellers, right? Bringing out that competitiveness, and if you can produce a PvP game mode where it's a lot of fun, and obviously the gameplay is there for this game, and if it's fair, at the end of the day, if it's fair, giving everyone a fair chance of, you know, getting the high ranks and whatnot, then that's where the success is. That's what we want to see. So if they can take their time with it, do that, give us the perfect PvP game, maybe make it an option where people can run their gear sets, where they can't run their gear sets, all that good stuff. I don't know, that's what I would suggest, you know, so that way people, if they want to go all out, they can do so. If they want to do ranked and make it fair as possible, that is what I would suggest. But if you guys wanted to know about PvP, they're testing it, boys, they're testing it. Gameplay depth and future content. Improving gameplay variety is a key priority for the development team. Future updates will focus on better gameplay mechanics for a long-term engagement. Adjustment to reduce difficulty for casual players. More challenges and achievements for hardcore players. So that was, again, just a quick little TED talk from the developers with what key information that they've got through this current beta, with what they're planning on doing going forward. Again, the game is going to be releasing this year. Sadly, no talk about global, but global is happening. Global is happening. It's just, I think what's going to happen is they're going to release CN first, and then probably, I assume, in a month, 2 time, then we can expect global. I'm hoping it's going to be like a week time, or maybe at the same time CN drops. I don't know, but from what it looks like, CN might be dropping first, and then probably a month or 2, or maybe a couple of months later, global then will have its release for Bleach itself. So that is kind of where we're at right now when it comes to Bleach Soul Reasonance, with what the developers are looking at to do, but it's in the right direction, and I'm eager to see on what the finalized version of this game will look like. So I'm excited for the future. I'm happy that PvP is being looked into. We've got multiplayer already. If they want to drop and give us some free SSR characters when the game officially releases, how they're giving out HITSUGAYA as well as Komamura right now, hey, I'm not against it. I'm not against it, but yeah, HITSUGAYA, definitely going to be, I gotta get him. I gotta get him. God damn it now.